Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another scene in Darkness in Dublin. We start our scene in the Elysium of Dublin, set in the theatre, in the court of our dearest Prince Hennessy. A new arrival in town is just now making his entrance. Well, he's actually been here for like 10 minutes. He's sitting with a hat on. Actually, he's put the hat down on the table next to him. He's just leaning back in a chair, reading the newspaper of all things. It's almost ironic to think of a paper newspaper, but, well, there it is. And, his head is wrapped in bandages, essentially. He's wearing goggles, whatever you want to call them, and a scarf, and a very fine suit. And does seem to have gloves on.
What's focusing? I see. Are the people that went to Romania back in the game, or they like in game still not back?
They'll probably have returned.
They are probably what? Sorry.
They'll have returned.
Okay. So yeah, he'll be kind of relaxed, with a glass of actual wine, and he'll see a face he hasn't seen before. So he'll approach in his normal kind of calm, but not assertive, but confident manner. And he'll approach the new figure.
Oh, just pardon me, one moment. He just folds the paper, like, on the middle, just puts it down to the table, and just gets up. Ah, new face. Delighted.
Well, technically, I would say that you are the new face.
Turn of phrase, my boy. He puts out a hand. I suppose I am the new face. I've just arrived, well, a couple of days ago. Theodore Williams.
He'll shake the hand. I made myself back here a few months ago.
Ah, might I have your name?
Ambroise Louveau of Clan Sombra.
There's a twitch in his hand. Just goes in, but then, like, that's the only, you just feel the slight movement in his hand, but that's it. He just, well, I must say, that's quite a exotic group to come from. No, I don't disapprove. Please, sit. And he just puts out a hand and just gestures you for you to just sit down.
Yeah. Right from the moment he felt the movement in the hand, his mouth changed to a smirk. He likes to know that there's that little feeling, that little reaction that people have.
I have had many long and intricate conversations with, well, the shadows.
No, most of my brothers and sisters have, well, let's say they don't see clearly into life and how it should be.
Intriguing.
They are blinded by their hate, I guess. Whatever blinds them.
Oh.
Maybe it was the same thing that blinded me before I turned.
Turned or returned, perhaps, to the proper path?
Turned to the proper path. I am often told that I made my choice not knowing about the other options. I made my choice because I was, well, embraced into it. But still, I am here now.
Yet here you are.
And he'll, kind of expand his arms. Here I am.
Well, I, for one, implore you and congratulate you for your, well, at least one or several very wise decisions, but I would not wish to defer from your own accomplishments.
have made many decisions throughout my life. Only one of them ever got me killed.
Oh,
And
can
he'll smirk and laugh.
Oh, did he say what sorry, what did he say?
I made plenty of decisions in my life. Only one of them ever got me killed.
Oh, well said. Well, I suppose we all have one of those. Well, at least one of those stories.
I do wonder where you come from.
He sits there for a moment. Well, I don't believe it would be all that fun if I just told you.
His accent is like. Oh, sorry. His accent is like English, right?
Yes,
Okay. Well,
but
he also.
a bit old-fashioned, almost like it's studied or like from another era or something. Like it's a bit old.
So I would say that you are either a very educated member of the English community, or one that is just old enough to sound like the way you do.
He responds in French, and he says, and it is also with a bit of an accent in a sense that it's a bit older, a bit more not eloquent, but this is a bit more of a thing to it. That sounds like it's a bit old, and he will just say, "Well, my name does not give away too much, but yes, I am somewhat educated." And he just like there's a slight inkling of his head.
And the way you are dressed tells me well, either you were born into a wealthy family or you made wealth yourself.
Hmm. A little from column A, a little from column B.
So you weren't born into, well, poverty exactly, but you still made
No,
yourself
far from
better.
it.
But
Far from it.
you still made your case better.
For the record, from behind you, you feel kind of a weight on the back of the couch because how you sit in these number of couches, so you feel a weight on the back of the couch like somebody is leaning on it.
Who?
They're currently pictured.
No, as in which one of us feels the weight? Because I'm guessing we're not on the same couch.
I think Peter's the only one who's sitting down.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
they're both, but he's sitting in a chair and
Ah.
lunching. His head will just turn, and he will almost like shoot up. But he will just ah, good evening. I don't believe I've had the very good pleasure of your company before.
No, I don't think you have. She hops over the couch and she sits down on the same. So she's sitting right beside Theodore. As she says, "Pleasure to meet you. People call me Whisper."
Well, Whisper, delight, and he will lightly just take her hand and do the old-fashioned kissing of the hand.
Oh my! It's like I'm in Vienna again. I fucking hate Vienna. Oh, that's neither here nor there. Hello. Oh, and it's the littlest shadow that could. Hello.
He'll smirk. Hello, Whisper.
Mm-hmm.
How are you this evening?
Nothing's on fire at the moment, so I'm relatively happy.
But things normally are in this city.
Depends on what day of the week it is, and how the cosmological forces feel like bucking us on that given day.
Ah, you are referring to the peripheral, well, maybe literal end of the world.
To be fair, in my life, I've been through several indications where ritualistic magic types said the end is near, we're all gonna die, and I'm still here.
That's a very healthy attitude, my dear.
If you call me my dear again, I'll break your face off the table.
Point taken.
I wouldn't try her if I were you.
Did I make any inkling that I would?
We're just setting boundaries. Boundaries are important. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, very much so.
Cool.
I need to test those boundaries from time to time, but not.
And here comes the little brouhaha that could. Hello, little brouhaha that could.
Hello there.
If it helps, he tries so hard.
He does.
This is in character. He said the whisperer is saying this as you woke up.
He gives a curt nod to that. Glad to see you're in such well spirits.
Once again, nothing's on fire.
Let's keep it that way.
Yeah, but that's only a temporary situation when it comes to this city.
Yes.
This guy gets up. Hello.
Hello. A new face. Sort
Well,
of.
I apologize, but yes. A new face, in quotes, I suppose. A very good evening to you. Theodore Williams.
Can't pleasure. A pleasure.
Clan Brusha, I heard.
Yeah, you heard correct.
Join us?
I suppose, why not?
Please. Theodore sits down again and just... So, the little shadow that could, the little Brusha that could. I'm sensing a theme.
What can I say? They have to impress me before I give them a different moniker.
Makes sense.
So how was Romania?
It was an experience. We pulled something at the Shadowlands. Well, Ryan did. The rest of us just kind of stood. Most of us being useless.
Right.
I must say, people are either very desperate or very, very brave to go to Romania, but I did
And a bit
feel
of-
something.
It was more. I guess it's a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B.
Quite. I heard you lost someone?
Indeed, we did. It was an unfortunate circumstance.
Such things happen.
Sometimes things can't be helped.
No. Especially when one goes to Romania.
Romania is an old place with old rules, old footsteps have trod there since a very old time. So, Whisper shrugs. Age tends to change a place. It tends to alter it. Things are never the same once blood has seeped into the ground for years uncounted. For the record, gentlemen, at this moment in time, you will see another individual enter. It is Whisper. The cards are not obviously floating in her hand, but that's like the picture.
Does she come to us or just walk past?
She's kind of standing in the room like she's looking for something.
Yeah, almost has that given nature. Get up. Go see her. Are you looking for something?
No.
May I help?
As a matter of fact, I suppose that you could. My name is Shia Abadi. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. So,
En was nouveau. And obviously, I didn't get you cut out a little bit when you said her name.
Shia Abadi.
Shit.
Shia for short.
Okay.
It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Master Andras. She gives a little bow.
He'll bow himself. How may I help you?
I'm looking for someone. Perhaps you might be able to help me.
As soon as you give me a name, it's a possibility.
Well, it's more so the fact that I'm looking for people, plural, and I would like to understand and inhabit the city. I was wondering if I could place a notice, an advertisement here, to see if they might find me.
What kind of people are you looking for?
I see. The last of a nascent bloodline.
Well, I'm not the keeper of Elysium, but well, I'm sure Alexander should not be too long. In the meantime, why don't you join us? Perhaps one of us will fit the people you're looking for.
She walks over, and she looks to each one of you in turn. Her skin is rather unusually pale, almost translucently white, but she looks at you and she smiles and she says, "Greetings. Your blessings be upon you."
Theodore will get up and introduce himself, as per usual. Bow and just say, "I'm sorry we were not privy to your name."
Shia Aklapti. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, indeed. He sits down again.
And you, sir?
Dr. Connor Fletcher. A pleasure.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance, sir. She takes a seat. I've come to the city looking for some lost sheep, you might say.
Well, depending on one's perspective, I suppose there could be quite a few different types of sheep that could be lost, but
Indeed. Needless to say, she does remove a deck of cards from inside of her throat, and she throws them across the table in a rather expert flick of the hand, basically. And as she flicks them all up in the very casino style of Vegas, you see you see the different cards, the different suits, the different face cards, etc. And then she flicks them down again, and then she flicks them up again, and every single one of them, without fail, has still got the number on it, so it's still got the denoting what number it is, it's still got the suit. However, every single one of the cards to all of you appears exactly like Theodore's masked face. I'm looking for very specific sheep.
interesting. Do I take a card?
I'm not a magician. I'm an illusionist.
Ah, I see.
I think I have an idea of what sheep you are looking for.
You do?
1 second, I need to remember some what they are called.
They're called Ravnos.
I mean, that's what I was thinking. But
Yeah, I think
To be fair, as soon as I saw the cards in our photo, I was like, "Yep, this is a Ravnus."
I like this picture
I don't-
for Ravnos, to be fair.
I don't know why the cards made me think that. It just did. We have a few Ravnos in the city, I believe.
I've heard of some. Haven't met any yet.
I've met all three. Unless there's a fourth one, in which case I have not met all of them.
To be fair, finding 3 of my clan is a miracle, considering what happened to us.
Yes, yes. Tragic history now.
I believe one of them was in the company of a gargoyle.
Unusual. How does...
Then again, everything about this city is unusual.
And trust me, my dear doctor, from the perspective of someone who influences people's perspective of reality, reality is merely as subjective as the individual chooses to make it.
I must ask, are you planning on just simply collecting or gathering more of your clan, or is there a specific purpose to your visit?
Hmm. There are so few of us left. It is important that we know whom still walks the night. I have been doing this for a number of years now. I was in Topor when the Week of Nightmares took place. Consider this my atonement for not being there when it was necessary.
Well, one can hardly be blamed for it. No one saw it coming. If you require assistance in this, I will gladly help. But I must say that I have only just arrived at the city. I do not know these individuals, but
One of them. When I say that I was in Topor for the Week of Nightmares, that is not entirely true. I lapsed into Topor during the Week of Nightmares. As a matter of fact, I lapsed into Topor right here in this city. One of these individuals, I fear, is my get. When I was gripped by the madness, I have vague memories of it. And so I feel as though I must amend that sin.
admirable.
There's a shrug, and she says, "We are but the weight of our karma."
Well,
Perhaps, but the action itself still needs to be commended when done.
if I see a member of your clan, I'll make sure to tell them you're looking for them.
I will be most grateful. Thank you. In exchange, I believe you offer prayers on this system. I would be more than happy to owe you each a minor boon.
Fair enough. So I assume you will be staying?
For the time being, at least, until such point as the lost sheep are found, and they are instructed in what they must know, and they are shown the ways that they must live. Then I will give them freedom, if that is all any parent can give a lost child.
There's a bit of a nod from Theodore as he just sits there, seems to contemplate it, but just leans back a bit, which is doesn't say anything else.
But I do apologize, I have disrupted your conversation, gentlemen.
Where were we up to?
If you'll excuse me, I will see myself out. I will hang my notice above the door, or upon the notice board, as I have said. Many blessings be upon each of you.
Thank you. And our boys will bow.
Also, because Evan needs to skedaddle, so I'll talk to you all later.
Lovely lady.
Indeed.
I-
We don't see too many of her clients around, unfortunately.
As she said, what befell them was a warning and a tragic tale. But let us let's not dabble in such horrible stories. Mr. Fletcher, did I mishear that you called yourself doctor?
Oh yes, I'm a surgeon by trade.
Ah, surgeon. Good. Good man. Interesting. I suppose you're not still practicing.
Um, I do practice here and there.
In official capacity or?
Yes.
Good. Good to know. Quite a useful set of skills and, well, our, I suppose, forced occupation by now. Lots of
Certainly.
schools and other people certainly needing attention.
It keeps me nicely afloat.
Do you have a business card by any chance?
You know, I never considered investing in them.
Oh,
I should.
I could
really
make you
should.
some if you wish, of course.
Well, if you're offering, that would be quite pleasant.
Theodore will just he will just take, he has a holder, and he just produces a business card. Doesn't say anything. It just says TW and a number. And yeah, he flicks one over to you.
Short and to the point. I like it.
I think it is fairly bad judgment to just simply print your name exactly as it's written on a card that could fall into the hands of just anyone. But this makes certain things a lot easier.
You do make a good point.
Could be Thomas Wilder, Teresa Williams. Who knows? Or something completely different. Well, oh, I'm sorry. The point was, of course, your number. If you, of course, are willing to divulge such.
Yeah, just give me one moment. He gets a pen from his breast pocket and would produce a small piece of paper, which he would then jot down a number, handing it over to Theodore.
Yeah, he takes it, studies it for a moment. Just there's a slight it's not a bow, but it's just a nod of the head. It's somewhat slight, but oh, thank you very much. I might, well, hopefully not require it, but one can never be certain.
It's always best to be prepared.
Indeed.
And in the worst case scenarios, I can also do autopsies.
Ah, fair enough. Hopefully that will not be necessary, but well, we'll see. Is this? I wonder. Is this also in an official capacity? Simply, I suppose this is only the official capacity of examining cause of death, and not necessarily providing papers for such.
Yeah, the official capacity of it.
Interesting. If someone needs, and he just kind of pauses, needed some paperwork to accompany their earthly remains. Interesting. Good to know. Good to know.
May we ask you, well, whether we, well, whether we can ask you or not is up to us. Whether you answer or not is up to you. But I was going to ask you the reason why you came to this city.
Well, I've always heard that Irish weather was the best in Europe. No. I apologize, joke in bad taste. My clan has recently taken the princedom. I know the man. Good, good and quite proper gentleman, in my mind, from all I've seen of him. And, well, apparently there is a potential end of the world looming. I don't know. Sounded important. I might be mistaken.
Yeah, that particular circumstance does put a bit of a dampener on this evening. And most evenings, to be fair.
Well, it also would lend one to say we could perhaps use a bit of backup. And that's also why I'm here.
I must say, I must admit, it was easier to be happy. Well, it was easier to find happy thoughts back when, the world wasn't ending. Still, I guess, if anything, we'll get to prove our worth.
Well, if Whisper's statement is to go, well, is anything to go by, the potential end of the world have been here before, and still people are very much around. Perhaps there is hope for us yet.
Well, we can.
I wonder how many ends we've actually lived through.
Well, all of us here, I suppose one fairly obvious one, but
Indeed. If you just mean ends, we have walked through many ends. Every night, something ends and we walk by it. But ends of the world, I'm sure, are a lot rarer. Yet, something tells me we have probably lived
well,
through.
there are some in metaphorical sense, I suppose. There was one theater building that was burned down. Now that felt like a literal end of the world. Tragic story. You can see, like, he sits there and he just you can't see his eyes really, but you can just see that he stares off into the distance, and he's like, this seems to be a real problem for him as he's remembering this.
I suppose so.
You're a man with great respect for the arts, I see.
Oh, yes. Somewhat involved in this city as well now.
Something that I can respect.
Good to know that we are not yet at the level of the states, that people have appreciation of the finer things in life. Very good start.
What would be a Frenchman if he didn't love theatre? And he'll love
Well,
this
I
love.
would have been very surprised indeed. You are right. Oh, can I get you gentlemen anything to drink?
I'm quite well. Actually, I probably haven't finished. I guess just wine.
Dr. Fletcher?
Go on then. I'll take the treat.
Oh, yeah. He will bring 2 drinks and wine, and a drink of wine. He'll just give one to you and just say, "Here you go." Sits down,
Thank
and from the inside of his jacket, Theodore produces a straw, but one of those weird straws that twists and turns, like you see
Swelly
children.
straws.
Yeah, that children use, kind of. And he just puts it in his drink, and you'll see his bandages. He'll begin to. You see that he opens it a bit, so the straw can come in, but already now, from what little you see long fangs, almost like the mouth in there just looks off. Not only are the teeth like very elongated, but there's something about his mouth that is unhuman. But it's very, very little you can see of it. But he just, he begins to drink with the straw. As he finishes, just removes the blood from the straw and he puts it in a small plastic bag and puts it in place again. Delicious, very delicious. So, a surgeon slash mortician, I suppose. And what do you do as an occupation, Ambroise? Mr. Livernoux, I'm sorry.
Well, back when I was a mortal, I was a soldier. Had died at the Battle of Verdun.
Ah. Quite the battle.
Indeed.
The war
Rushed.
no wars. Didn't really work in that sense, I suppose.
Sorry, I see. What did you say?
The war to end all wars.
Well, it did end quite a few empires, honestly. And I suppose the empire I grew up in, that was ended as well. Strange. Quite a spectacular war.
I spent much of that time in Denmark, I believe. It's a lot quieter there.
Yes, they were neutral. I haven't been there myself, I must say. I've never been. Spend most of my time in my native city, apparently not the favorite city of, well, one of my fellows, dear Whisper. She apparently does not like Vienna. Born and raised. Lovely city. But I suppose if you're not a fan of warlocks, one will have to stay away from the city. I find them fairly good company, mostly.
I can assure you there are worse cities.
Oh, of that I have no doubt. It was just Whisper was here earlier, and she mentioned that she really, really hated Vienna, and, well, to each their own.
Somewhat a shame that a city of such culture can be overshadowed by such unfortunate residents, I suppose.
Well, not overshadowed. All
some-
of the music, all of the treasures from that city lives on. I don't know if any of you have ever been.
No, unfortunately not.
I've done a bit of traveling, but Vienna was never really a place that I stopped.
Well, if you ever get the chance, I can recommend it.
I'm sure it's a lot more recommendable than Bucharest. And he'll turn to Connor.
Bucharest, well, it's a nice city, though once again, let's go back to that thing of certain residents can certainly ruin the mood.
So, do any of you, do you regularly frequent the arts? Well, frequent. It's not the right word, is it? Do you partake in many offers of culture in this city?
I partake in sculpting from time to time.
Oh,
I only watch my, well, not sure if you can call it art, but I'm more into studies.
well, I intend to invite a few people. The two of you can attend if you wish. Perhaps it will be your first times in the opera, but you are more than welcome. I will post a dress code and all that.
Maybe we invite friends of all kind, of course.
Yes, yes, there will be mortal in attendance, but I have secured a few rafters, private booths. But a +1 would perhaps be my limit.
Or not.
I can't remember the last opera I attended.
Indeed, it's been a while. I think I was mortal back when I attended my last opera.
That is almost criminal. I
No,
must say, such things. Well, we have
and he'll,
only just met, but my honor would normally dictate that I would consider that an insult or a grave, grave crime committed. But
and
oh
he'll
well.
think. "Hmm, now that I think about, no, there was one. I did go once to the opera with my sire when I was a kindred.
Hmm.
When I was a, yes, I guess you'll say kindred. Back when I was, well, right after the end of the war. Times
Well,
I
that
would rather
helps a
forget.
little, I suppose.
But again, times I would rather forget.
Hmm. Yes, I can understand why that would be with our opposition. Well,
I heard you had a run-in with her, I believe.
His
Well,
jaw automatic, like right away clenches. Yes, and unfortunately, I didn't get to ask her.
well, my sincerest apologies. That mustn't have been easy.
It wasn't.
we seem to go from one bad topic to the other. I
We have a
consider
lot of
myself
those.
a bad influence.
Well, I'm sure the topic was going to come sooner or later, anyways.
Well, there are still introductions to be made, and I am afraid I must be leaving soon. But it has been a very good pleasure to meet both of you.
The pleasure's all mine.
He shakes both of your hands and will just say, well, until we meet again, hopefully in these fine, very, very beautiful surroundings. Ta-ta, and he will leave.
Good evening. And I was will finish this drink. But yes, I was not happy to run into her. Well, I'd say her. I'm not even sure we should call it her. Not after what she did.
If you'd rather not address it, you don't have to.
And he'll nod. I think I'll go back home. Please don't take any offense to it. I just, well, feel like going home now.
That's fair. Apologies for leaving it on such a low note.
And he'll extend a hand.
He'll accept it.
And he'll shake the hand. And he'll go.
I should probably say that Connor is very cold to the touch.
Ah, okay. I know that. I know that now.
I probably should have stated that a few times now, but I just never do.
Yeah, no, I know it's like.
And with that, I believe the scene will come to a close. Thank you very much, players for playing, watchers for watching, ST for ST. Good night.